Okay, so we had this thing planned for the last 12 hours or so because I think it was an announcement on Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. Because I'm going to the Cavaliers game tonight, there was a thing that kind of caught me off guard from the Cavaliers' social media pages this week where they announced a partnership with Coca-Cola, and that Coca-Cola is now going to become the official beverage sponsor at Cavs games this year. That threw me for the hardest of loops. Because if you know me, I think we might have talked about this on here at some point before, I am a staunch supporter of Pepsi. And this is not any sort of shot taken towards the Cleveland Cavaliers organization. This is not taking any stretch towards the Coca-Cola company. You guys do what you got to do. Make your business moves. Do what you got to do. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to be loving the fact that Coke is now at Cavs games this year. Not going to disparage any of you. The reason we're doing this week is because we got into a whole thing on Twitter direct messages about the kind of drinks that are good in society and those that are absolute swill. And this man that's sitting across from me thinks that he is the beverage connoisseur, much like he thought that frosted cookies that you get in a package were trash.
They are.
My gift to you for our 100th episode. He thinks that he would win a certain taste test that we can do. So we got these drinks today here. We have an ice cold, delicious can of Pepsi in a 16-ounce beverage container that looks like an energy drink. And then I got the small Coke here because he's got to go back to work here pretty soon. And we got them in these cups. These were from the gas station. I'm not going to say which one. These are Pepsi glasses, so I'm not trying to make this an advantage for me. But we're going to try this whole thing here. And I'll give you your cup in a second. I'm trying to first of all, I have the cups on my laptop right now, which I don't want to, I'm not going to pour it onto my laptop here in a bit, but I want to get this thing for you. Thank you. Almost fizzed up right on me. There we go. All right, so there's Coca-Cola. I'll give you a little bit there just for you to sample. And then I guess the thing is, since I only have 2 cups, we might have to fill it up in the same cup. So we might be putting Coke and Pepsi in the same container, which I don't know if that's going to complicate things. So that's Coke for you. There's Coke for me. Actually, you know what? Here, give me that one back because that's a bigger sample size because, just take that one from behind your computer there. That one's a smaller one for you because I don't want you to ingest a whole bunch of Coke right before you have to go back to work. That wasn't a pun. That wasn't a innuendo. First of all, take me into your take. Why do you think Coke is the better of the two colas in the cola wars?
I like the fact that it's more. Coke obviously has different varieties in terms of the actual Coke, much like Pepsi.
Yeah,
like
that V3000 that they've been
I'm
peddling out.
Vanilla,
Starburst,
vanilla, cherry.
Pepsi literally does the same thing.
I know. Hey.
Yeah. I get heated on this, as you couldn't tell.
I like the vanilla-based. There's still that slight vanilla-based taste, I think, in a regular Coke.
Okay.
Where this is more of a fruity taste for Pepsi, I think. I'd rather have vanilla-based than I would fruit type.
And keep in mind, there are certain drinks of Cokes that I think are better than Pepsi's. I think Coke Zero is better than Pepsi Max or Pepsi Zero. I think that no, I think Diet Pepsi is way better than Diet Coke.
No,
that's where I'm right. I know I'm right.
Those are fighting words. No,
I could make the argument that I know that Cherry Coke's more iconic, but if you didn't go to a Pizza Hut and get a wild cherry Pepsi growing up, you didn't live as a kid.
Pepsi has the most superior drink in terms of Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay. So this is where we get into some uncharted territory here. I mean, we could do partnerships because Coke has Sprite. Pepsi, I think, has Moon Mist or whatever they're calling it now. They do have Dr. Pepper, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm taking the Coke here. Standard classic drink. Obviously, I've been to the world of Coke, which is in Atlanta. Very cool experience. You get to go around, see all the different histories and stuff. You get a free drink at the end, which is cool. Taste test, which is what we're doing right now. And I'm gonna maybe regret this in a little bit. All right, let's get to the good stuff here. I also had to take into account too, the can versus the bottle. First of all, let me get this in here. Oh, it's just so satisfying. There we go. What are you moaning about?
That was really good Coke.
Thank you. Let me just get this here, and then I'll get this. There we go. Yeah, this might We're essentially mixing Cokes now, which is this might go down south fast, but let me taste this here. Oh, that sweeter blend. Oh, that's just
No.
Come on, man.
No.
Come on. You're going to sit here and say that Coke is the better of the two. I mean,
Yeah,
nothing against Coke.
Especially Diet Coke. Okay.
No.
Yes.
Diet Coke just tastes. It almost tastes like nothing. It might as well be RC Cola.
No, listen. If you're out there, you know. If you want an ice cold pop, you're going to McDonald's and you're getting a Diet Coke because they have the best Diet Coke flavors.
Oh, God. First of all, if you're going to McDonald's, you're getting the ice cold Sprite because that is liquid electricity. Okay, you're not going. I mean, you could go there for a Coke. You're going to go there for a regular Coke too. You're not going for a Diet Coke.
No, I go for Diet. I go for Diet Coke.
You know they have Coke Zero there now too.
Diet Coke is just so good.
First of all, Coke Zero is better than Diet Coke. First
Diet
of all,
Coke is superior.
it's not really. And by the way, Pepsi's not even trying with these BS flavors they have now, like this Supernova V3000. Now I know we have like the Nitro thing where it's basically you have to pour the thing downwards in order for it to fully fizz, but that's neither here nor there. We got to get the people in on this. Pepsi or Coke, which is better? I mean, like I can even take us back to the Cola Wars back in the day, the Pepsi Challenge. When Pepsi literally started kicking Coke's behind in sales, so Coke had to reformat their formula, and they called it New Coke, and it bombed spectacularly. So they had to go back to the classic. Pepsi scared them, man.
They scared them, but now Coke's back on top.
Look, Coke might be the number one seller in here, but the whole thing here that we were basing it on is taste, and Pepsi tastes better than Coke for the most part. Again,
Coke tastes better.
Coke Zero is better than Pepsi Zero. Cherry Pepsi is better than Cherry Coke. I don't really drink the vanilla very often. I don't really know how I have much of an opinion on that one.
I don't really need vanilla for Coke because you have the vanilla base in there still. Where Pepsi, you have to try to get vanilla Pepsi because they just are all about that fruit flavor in their.
What is that? What is that little comment in the end there? They're all about that fruit flavor. Take another look at this here. First of all, there's no fruit flavor in cola in Pepsi too. It's literally just a sweeter. Coke is more bold flavor, but Pepsi.
I want the bolder flavor. All
right. I mean, you ever seen that one thing, by the way? This happened a few years ago on Twitter where apparently this might be a thing in the South. First of all, speaking of the South, Bojangles, why don't you turn your camera over and see right here this Pepsi brand on Bojangles? You literally have to get Pepsi when you go there.
I got lemonade.
Oh. Still.
Lemonade.
We're not talking about lemonade here. Lemonade versus iced tea we'll do one day. But look, Bojangles has Pepsi. Trying to think of the places that have Pepsi. Pizza Hut has Pepsi. Does Taco Bell have Pepsi? I think they do. Yeah, because they have... No.
Some places
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Some places have both at the same time.
Do they really?
Yeah. Some places do have both.
No, I don't recall a lot of fast food places that have both Pepsi and Coke. I know that they have those like fancy soda fountains where they do the thing where it's like you can pick whatever you want, put the flavors in whatever you want. That's a whole other thing there, but no, I got to take another drink of this. Oh, that's nice. Oh, and maybe I'll do one more taste of this of the Coca-Cola just to make sure that I'm not crazy. I've always wanted to try new Coke just to see what it tasted like. That got everybody so up in arms over. I'm sure it was probably the exact same thing, and they changed the can, which got people upset too. So yeah, that's pretty much where I stand on that. Pepsi is better. I know he disagrees on that. We want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Again, we got Pepsi cups here. We're not trying to like. I didn't want this to be a placebo effect where people. It's like that thing in marketing where, like, even though we're drinking Coke, it shows Pepsi on there, and it gets people wanting to go get a Pepsi. That has happened before on me, like, many, many times. But that's the thing, too. When I went to Cavs games last year to cover, we would get, like, a little thing to go to the concession stand, and I would always, always, always go to what's the pizza stand at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse called? You know what I'm talking about? Next to the tacos.
It's not Dante's, is it?
No, that's Progressive Field. What's the Cavs Pizza food options? Flower Pizza Company. I would always go there, get a pizza and a fountain Pepsi, and I can't do that anymore. Which, I'll get a Pepsi and a Coke probably next time. This is what, or I could just not drink soda at all and drink water like a healthy human being. Like I'm the definition of health. He's actually the definition of health. He actually works at a gym, and I do not. So that's all the time we have here on the Big Time Sports Podcast Show. Thank you so much for listening or watching. BigTimeSportsOhio.com. You can find our latest games and reports and everything there. I'll have the football previews up here pretty soon. At Mitch Spinell on Twitter and everywhere else. At Mitchell Balla. Big Time Sports Ohio everywhere else. And that's pretty much it. What is the fact of the day other than Pepsi is better than Coke?
Your fact of the day from the MitchBallaFacts.com is Coke is superior to Pepsi, and Diet Coke is undefeated.
These are the fakest facts I've ever heard. These are alternative facts, my friend. The only fax this should be in is in a fax machine where the message says Pepsi is better than Coke. Thank you for listening or watching to the Big Time Sports Podcast Show.
Diet Coke is superior.